tmrcfc.baconicecream.com.
What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and TMRCFC, welcoming you to the Evercast, your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. Like I said, I am one of your hosts, Rich. I'm here with that way. Hey, KillDashNine, what's going on? So, we've got Crow in the house, and down there, oops, this way again. That way is the EverCanadian himself.
Yeah, you gotta go.
EverCanadian.
EverCanadian for EverCanadian. Now you got me singing it. Good.
That's good times. So we got.
I love the shirt, Rich. I love the shirt. Way to represent, bro.
It's awesome. And I got the soft tee one. It's like nice and
sweet.
comfy.
Tri-blend.
Yeah.
You went all out, spared no expense.
It's good. Yeah, it was like on sale. It was like the $18 one or whatever it is.
Ooh.
I like it. I love those ones. But anyway, we got a hop and chat already. We got Julian D in here. We got Lloyd R. Jim. We got Jason Shires. We got Ballistic Coffee Boy. We got Dan Ruff. Ian Hobbies is in the house. F1 qualifying almost done. We got Phantom Fiction. We got Snake Eater 75.
Qualifying is done. Leclerc won, and Red Bull finished second and third.
Oh, there you go.
I'm watching it over here.
Nice. We got Ever Neal. We got MT Shark in the house. Chris Chippewa. Ernest P. Whirl. All sorts of people here. Eric Downey. Man, it's hopping here this morning. Oh, and of course, you've been summoned, sir.
I have been summoned. Would you kill this thing?
You suddenly change that every week.
But if you think awesome, that's great.
That would be way too much effort and kind of.
Yeah.
It actually wouldn't be that much effort. It's just this was
more.
Spinning before.
What's going on, John? Yeah, I mean I know that we changed it from the one where it was just him like doing like the lean and the cross arms, but yeah, no, you should do that. Just like have like some random thing, just every other week or something. That'd be awesome. So, MT Shark asking, how was the vacation? It was amazing. It was good times, for sure. I was out in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. It was very good times. It was a lot of like pool and eat and more pool, running around with the kids and playing some Evercade. And that was basically 8 days in awesome place doing awesome things. So it was very, very cool. Very cool. My dog just hid. He was hiding from the retro KillDashNine. So yeah, it was really awesome. But how was everybody else's week?
Busy.
Yeah.
I had to clean out my office, and that took me 4 hours.
Oh wow!
Dang,
that's crazy.
And the building didn't have air conditioning because it was broken.
Oh no! Is that why you had to? Is that why you had to clean the office? Because you had, like,
no, because everybody's working from home now, and they're changing the office space, so I need to get everything out. But I've been putting things in that office for like 12 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time to be collecting things, and it's almost like moving an apartment.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that stuff because like everything I didn't know where to put in the house, I took to work and I hung on the wall.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that going on in my old job. I wound up collecting a lot of I started recollecting a lot of old school Star Wars figures.
Okay.
So I had a whole bunch of the Power of the Force, like the 97, the gold and green card back figures, and they started lining up. I don't know where I was finding them. I was just finding them in random places. Like, I found one in a there was like an old pharmacy. They had a toy section. For whatever reason, they had them in the toy section.
Yeah, they have them at like Walgreens.
Yeah, and it's like, so I just like every once in a while I would just grab a figure, and then I must have had 20 of them on the wall. And then when I left the job, I put them on a box. I took them home, and it was like, I don't have any more. But
most of the stuff I think is just going to get shoved under the house.
Yeah, mine are behind. Yeah, mine are behind me over there. Yeah. I feel you.
So yeah, it's definitely good stuff. So what about you, Ed? What did you do for this week?
busy stuff, and so kind of interesting that got not really a little bit of stir, but I think a lot of people kind of felt the same way I did about like the Television 2 collection, like with the controls and whatnot. So.
Well, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, I haven't got to it yet either. I had it. I don't want to say I didn't get to it. I did pop it in. I played like 2 or 3 games, and one of them that I was actually looking forward to, as far as control wise, it like scared me so that I stopped playing.
Which one?
Yeah.
I did pop on one game.
It was Stadium Mud Buggies.
Okay, I put on auto racing just to see what kind of control scheme they use, because there's all 2 versions of it on the actual Intellivision cartridges, and you don't know which one you're going to get.
I got it.
Well, so there's 2 issues, right? And then the more in-depth games, you have to like read through the manual and all that. And lately, like, I don't know, I've just been a lazy gamer. I just want to pick up and play like something. Like if I don't feel like putting effort into having to like learn the game. But that's just
I mean,
that's just me.
Game I could think of that you really needed to learn with the manual kind of before you played it. And I can't remember which one it was. It was like the God Simulator game. I can't remember. That was like on I can't remember it now.
Oh, that was only the Gremlin collection, I think, right?
No, it wasn't the Gremlin collection. I haven't gotten to that one either.
Oh, that was it. Codemasters then, right?
Yeah, it was one of the Codemaster games, I think.
Yeah. See, that's another. I'm like, man.
Masters.
Let me see here. I'm gonna have to. I got the list up here. If I could. What was it? It was Megalomania. That's what it was.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's all about timing, right? Like, let's say that if these were coming out once a month and we didn't have the other 2 carts around the corner, then maybe right away I would go ahead and I would play that more. But I've been loving the Morph Cat collection. I know there's been mixed feelings, but the good news, though, at least from what I've seen in the Facebook groups, I think people are starting to see the light that it's not the quantity of games, it's the quality of games. Like, I don't care if there's only 2 or 3 games if they're good. But too many games. That's actually a concern of mine of the Commodore 64 collection, like 14 games, like that might be a little bit overwhelming. So it's I have conflict. I have conflict with that sometimes
because
God, it exists.
Within the last week, I got this Easy Flash for the Game Boy Advance just because I thought it would be neat to have in a Game Boy Micro and just have every Game Boy game in a Game Boy Micro, and then as soon as I booted it up, I was like, wait a minute, what the hell am I going to play on this?
Yeah,
right?
That's the curse of emulation. Like too many choices, right?
Yeah. So, but speaking of in television specifically, and like learning to play games, I wound up finding out that the hard way through some of the videos that wound up hitting the channel while I was away. Whitewater in specific was very confusing if you just tried to jump in. If you had like an overlay, which I did, I had the overlay up on my screen, and the cartridge, then you have to have the manual because there's like very specific things you have to do inside of the game. And then it's like, hey Mike, how's it going? It's like, it's so weird. But yeah. And what was it? The one I did before.
What game? Whitewater? I don't.
Whitewater, yeah, and Truckin' is like that too.
Oh, you're not talking about games that were actually on the collection.
No, these are iMagic games.
Truckin'. I had Truckin'.
Or iMagic, I should say.
I used to own Truckin', and I was like, what? I'm just driving a truck. What am I doing?
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's so weird though, because you figure it's like going to be a realistic simulator, sort of, right? And you're in the right-hand lane, you're like, well, a mistake to my lane. I'm a truck driver. I got to be safe, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the trucks are coming at you. And then they just veer off into your lane. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I think that's just the programming. I think they're not actually in your lane. I think it's just that's the way the game was programmed.
Yeah, it's like what happens, and like so then you try to avoid them, and then there are times where the thing is all the way left, all the way right as you're looking at it, right? So so it's all the way there. So you go into the left-hand lane because there's nothing there, and you still hit the truck.
And because I think I remember that when I was playing it, and I was like, why do all the trucks like start in my lane and veer into the right lane when they see me? And I just like think that they just kind of were off with the graphics. I think when they programmed it and left it that way.
Oh no!
Oh man!
What's wrong? What happened, Ryan? I'm glad we could help.
He just said he's in the hospital because he needs his Evercast fix.
Yeah, but why is he?
Because we're done, he'll be out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then it's all. Then it's fine. Then that's fine. Then.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope it's all.
Oh,
it's all good.
hey, not to go totally off topic, but Evercade related stuff.
Yeah, sure.
If people haven't, there's 2 videos of Pete's that they need to check out. One is and I told him, I'm like, dude, this is my favorite one that you've done. He did like the whole history and the evolution of Evercade and Blaze.
Yeah.
Like starting, it's like kind of like a mini documentary. And then the other thing, which I never thought of, is that, and I think you've said this on other shows, but it didn't sink in until I saw your video that the Evercade, the VS, it's a mini console with replaceable cartridges, which I think is an awesome way to look
thanks,
at
man.
it.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while, and I even teased that video last week on the show. I'm like, it's the mini console evolved, and like, you know, there's a bunch of hassats out on the internet that, you know, think very little of the Evercade, and it comes from a very uneducated opinion and stupidity in my mind. And I'm like, you know what though, when you really think of it, you know, what do you get in a mini console, and what does Evercade learn from that and move forward and evolved it? And it's pretty cool, right? So I thought,
but it's great too because you own all the consoles. You're a collector, so although and to your point, there have been other asshats that have talked about it. They don't even have an Evercade. It's like you have all the mini consoles and an Evercade, so you can compare everything.
Like I made a decision not to buy the Genesis 2, like because like, you know, for me it's I don't see value in those anymore, because I was telling Crow, I think last week, I feel Crow in the before show, I feel I'm not buying certain indie games on like Steam and that because I'm thinking they're going to come to the Evercade. They seem like a perfect match for the Evercade, so I'm like holding off buying them, which is silly because I should support those companies. But yeah, anyway.
I do the same thing. That's why I haven't bought Cuphead yet.
Yeah, I've got this feeling like the Alwa one. And those two, I won't buy them on Steam, even though they're like $3. I'm waiting for the $20 Evercade collection.
Well, yeah, I wait if stuff is on Steam, and I'm waiting for a physical copy. I usually wait for at least 50% off, and Cuphead has never hit 50% off. So, but yeah,
I haven't dived into Cuphead either myself. Although I know that it's like everyone kind of raves about it.
Funny. I just think it's funny that the game has not received a physical release yet. And I think the reason it hasn't is because they were waiting for all the DLC to be released before they did that. But there's been a vinyl record album. There's a Netflix cartoon.
That's true.
There's pop Funko figures.
Yep.
There's everything except the physical copy of the game.
Who's the publisher of that?
I don't know who the publisher is.
The only reason I ask is there like something else they could also like throw on the cart to make it a dual cart, or is that like their main?
Oh, I don't know. I think that might have been like that publisher was like that was their game. I think.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with just that and all the DLC
out of
for
nowhere.
it.
Yeah.
You know, that like with Micro Mages, I think that's pretty cool. And actually, so what's neat that they did the Micro Mages, for those of you that don't know, when you get to a certain point, they raise the difficulty, and so you have to like start again. So what's funny is it's like the second quest is almost like a remix of like that second difficulty. But that game's surprisingly, I've gotten like over an hour, close to an hour and a half to complete and go through Micro Mages, like just
nice.
On that game alone. I don't know. Indie is like really like it's just sucked me in because I like knowing that. It's going to. I think lately, I know in the past I was like all about replayability, but now since we're getting like a lot of cards, I think I've gone to more about like experiences. You know, and so it's kind of nice to be able to like have the time, play through. You know, go ahead and be able to like play through a game, come back. You know,
well, I realize the only reason I like to buy the physical stuff, the only reason why I like to buy the mini consoles and stuff is just because. I mean, not necessarily because I like to play them, but because I like to collect them. I mean, being able to play them too is a bonus, but I'm perfectly happy just letting them sit on display. Meanwhile,
I probably spent more time dusting mine than playing them.
Yeah,
which is
kind of sad. But
it's just, to me, it's a hobby,
Yeah, me too. Mine is a hobby and an investment for my kids one day to just sell everything I have when they go out into the world, and then they can I'll keep a little corner of stuff myself, the rest they'll sell, and they'll have a good start on life, right? So
I mean, it's something, if I feel I don't need it anymore, I could sell it, and maybe even goes up in value. Who knows? But if I were to buy all that stuff digitally, you're stuck with it unless you sell your whole account, which technically isn't allowed by the terms of service.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's two things that I don't like about digital. For what, you're stuck with it, and two, it gets lost in the ether. Like I can see what I have behind me.
Yeah, like it's funny because I've got the collectors program where I keep track of the games that I own, and you could enter in your digital games, but it's so much of a pain to go through and enter in a digital game every time you buy one. So I just like, wait, let's just keep it all physical. So I know what games I have in my collection physically. I have no idea what's in my collection digitally. Like on my Xbox 360, I'd have to turn that on and go through it to see what I actually bought digitally. And I'd be, I totally forgot about that game.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me on the PlayStation side of things, because I've been a PlayStation Plus subscriber since day one.
Yeah, that's the problem, though.
You
don't really owe those games, though, because as soon as you stop paying for PlayStation Plus, those games are all gone.
You don't have them anymore, right? Well, but I wind up like getting into the situation where I do that, and then I go into the sales, and I like buy a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've heard that like over time, there's actually things that have been on PlayStation Plus that have kind of like fallen off because of licensing deals or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So then I'll wind up seeing, I was like, wait, didn't I own that game? But you can actually see you can buy it now, but like you didn't because it was a PlayStation Plus game. So then you wind up buying it, and you're like, what is happening in my life?
I think I've wound up buying the same digital game on different platforms without realizing that I bought it on a different platform before.
Oh, I've totally done that between Xbox and PlayStation. I've totally done that. Like several times.
Steam is totally the worst though when it comes to that.
Yeah.
When you get to the Steam sales and you throw a whole bunch of stuff in your cart and then you buy it all and then you completely forget about it.
Yeah,
you're going through your library, and like a year later, you're going through your library. Like, what the hell is this game?
Yeah, you put like 30 games in there, and you check out for $7.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Or you do like because it's for a good cause, you do like a humble bundle or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, here's 200 license keys. And you're like,
they help generate so much value.
I did one that had PlayStation games, and I entered in all the codes for them, and I completely forgot about it. It's like, how did I wind up with this game?
Yeah.
It was
in a bundle. It's crazy. That stuff it's wild. But that basically, like, I don't know. It's weird to think that stuff happens all the time, because it almost treats digital content like it's just throwaway. But it's not, right?
Yeah.
It's people like worked on it, right?
But actually, when the next step is what they're moving to with things like Game Pass, where they just want you to keep paying a certain amount per month.
Right.
And they'll just, as soon as you stop paying, you don't have access to that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
The reason why they like that is because it's a steady income for them. You're not just going to give them money once and that's it. No, you're tied. You have to keep giving them money if you want to keep playing it. And plus, you don't get to own anything. They get the money.
Yeah, and it's the double-edged sword for the consumer too, because the one side is you get the convenience. You pay a monthly fee, you get access to 200 or 300 games or whatever.
Yeah, you get a lot of access. Yeah,
right. The bad side though is it's like Netflix, and stuff falls off. So if you have a favorite game, you always want to play it. It's gonna go away. Then you can buy it later, obviously, but still, like it's like that. That's a thing. You never own the titles. That's another thing. Like it's like
for me though, there's games that I've played and I really liked them, and I still like to have them, like a physical copy of them, even if I'm never going to play them again, because it's a good. I see it and I say, oh yeah, I remember playing that game. It was a good game. Like Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy 7. I played through that game like 6 times or something like that originally when it came out. I'm never going to play through it again, but then I'm never going to sell those discs either.
So I just only owned like the discs for those, and I didn't have a way to play it. So when I traded in stuff, those were actually one of the things I traded, just because like I only had like the disc. I didn't have like the real case or book.
But then it's the thing, if you don't have it all either, you just sell it to whoever you want.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or give it away,
Yeah. So man, it's really jamming in here too. But before I go on, I just want to double check with Pete. You had anything cool that went on for the week before we dive in here? Talk about some more chat goodness.
Not really.
Pete, how was your week?
It reminded me of that scene in UHF with the.
I got on Instagram. I got on Instagram because I saw that Ed was on Instagram, so I got on Instagram. Followed.
You know
Ed.
what's funny about that?
Yeah.
I didn't like Rich. Have you been on Instagram for a while? I can't believe I wasn't following you.
I've been on for a really long time as Bacon Ice Cream Productions, and I don't really put out a lot unless I'm on vacation. For whatever reason, when I'm on vacation or I'm somewhere that's not my house, I like take a picture and I go, oh yeah, I should probably share this because it has something to do with video games or whatever. If I'm at a convention or whatever. So I do that, and then every time I do that, then like random people that have known me for years wind up finding me and following me.
Yeah, and then like I found Pete, or Pete found me, so that's I know.
Yeah,
that's kind of
Instagram.
Ah. I used to take like just a picture of a random thing, and filter the hell out of it and post it on Instagram. And I did that like once, and then like a couple months later, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should do that again because I got all these figures laying around. It's like I'll just take a random picture of this and.
I can't tell if Ryan's serious or if he's trolling us. No, mine probably like towards the end of this week, mine will ship out, and I'll probably get it on Monday if it's like last time.
Yeah, and I've gotten my shipment notification. I got it on Tuesday, so I might get them today actually, because usually it's shipment notification 2 days. It hits the port in New York. It stays there for maybe a day, and then it goes from. I don't know how they do it, but it's like from there to my delivery hub, and sometimes that day it'll get there that morning. They'll process it, and it'll be on my porch. Nice. Usually, sometimes by the end of the show. I'm
doing an experiment with Video Games Plus because last time with the free shipping, I got it like the day after. So next time I'll pay like the extra couple bucks for like the first class shipping, and I wonder maybe will I get that a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
we got a show. Are we gonna start the show? Or we?
Oh yeah, we're just talking. We're just talking.
This is the show,
It's good stuff. Yeah,
I feel. I don't know, it feels like forever since we've talked.
I've been hovering around this question from Mike here, for a little bit. Maybe it'll kick us off to talk about some more stuff. So we've got obviously we talked about C64 and the new box color. Meaning it's not just C64. We're going to get more mini computers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they confirmed that, right?
Yeah. And outside of the obvious, right? Because that, what is it? Retro Games Limited, they do the C64 mini and the A500 mini. Like, so that's, you don't want to say it's auto confirmed, but it's kind of, come on.
Yeah, they on the way.
Amiga's probably on the way.
Right. Amiga's 500, I have it in the base games on there. Yeah. They're not that great, so I'd like to see Evercade grab a collection and do other games because when you look at the Amiga 500, it's kind of more fan service to the Amiga fan base, not necessarily controller-friendly games in a lot of it. So I really, but I've sideloaded like 6,000 Amiga games on my Amiga 500, but the stock unit itself is pretty mediocre library in my opinion.
They would have to do a Cinemaware collection for Amiga. Because those were the games that I think a lot of people remember, like that really put and also I know it's not a great game, but Shadow of the Beast would have to be on there one way or another because that was playing in like every store that had an Amiga because the graphics were good for the time.
What do we think of the new intro video for EXP? There's an intro video for the EXP.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I saw it's a boot up screen that they.
It is. Yeah. It was on Discord.
Yeah, it's on Discord.
I can see if I can grab it.
It's in the and I actually wound up grabbing all three intros, the one for the Evercade VS, and the XP at the same time.
The Dev Diary one.
Yeah.
So, oh sweet, we got this. So here, well Ryan's in here. Are we gonna get yelled at if we play it?
Probably not.
No, because it wasn't. No, because it's not in the.
They put it on a public platform. It wasn't like you need a password or anything to access it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna share it right now. So
it's like 3 seconds. So
yeah, 3 seconds.
Why would they get mad at us? Like fire us from being fans?
Yeah.
Really?
That's true. He's like, all right. Well, he's saying play it. So all right, watch your ears though. I don't know how loud it's gonna be because I didn't pre-roll.
I'm not talk about our console anymore, but we really can't enforce that.
There it is.
I love that.
That is cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So
they wanted to keep it short because you don't want to be sitting there waiting for the thing to boot up when you could be already selecting games.
No kidding, man. Even the old hand of the that was almost like too long. So I'm glad.
Oh, the so
original, yeah.
so speaking of that one, it's really, I like that a lot actually. Let me get this banner out of the way here.
Which one are you talking about? The very
original
one?
Yeah.
I need to find a copy of that somewhere.
I find, well, here, you want a copy of this one?
Yeah, well, I want to.
I found my, yeah, no, I'm actually gonna wind up capturing it because I like this one.
I might have that captured.
But
the problem with me capturing it though is because the capture doesn't kick in time for it to capture the whole thing.
So when I first,
what color shoes
this on,
this is my shoe right here.
I thought for sure that this was on 2.0, so I turned it on, and it was like, why is this taking forever to boot? And then all of a sudden I see like the old one. I was like, oh wow! And then I saw the old boot screen with the menu, and I was like, wow, I can't. They took me back. It's only a year, I know, but still, that was wild. It was wild to see the old one again. And actually, I brought my spare I have a spare Evercade, and I didn't realize that it was not even on, what is it, 1.1 or 1.3 or something. Wow. Like the newer carts sort of work, but they, some do, some don't. But on the older one, it doesn't work at all. So I put Renovation in my spare Evercade, because I ran out of batteries on my primary one that has the first, the proper firmware on it, and I turned it on and it didn't boot, and I thought it was broken. I thought I was like, oh no, I have a broken Evercade. Like, what did my whatchamacallit, what did my brother-in-law do to the Evercade, because I had to let him borrow it, and then I realized, oh wait, it never got updated ever. So Renovation doesn't work at all on the one that has the old firmware. So it was sad times. So, I was out of
Rich, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to say any names, but I kid you not, and I didn't want to bring any attention to this, but I have to now, because especially that somebody, I kid you not, started a while back in the Evercade fans have argued with me, saying that the Evercade was never meant to have firmware to be updated. You shouldn't have to do it. And then they kind of went on a rant saying, tell me, where does it say it needs to be updated? And I'm like, dude, my Windows computer doesn't say it needs to be updated on the front. That's what I wanted to say.
Console and my video.
You could, it's like, it's like if it lets you update it, then it was always meant to be.
See, and that's what's actually great that Pete addressed in his video. He said like most of the mini consoles, they never have any updates.
Yeah, it's only the ones from Retrobit, or Retro, whatever they're called. The Amiga and the Commodore 64 have officially updated their minis, which is cool because I like that. But yeah, the rest are just no.
I was just looking to see if there was like a loose Evercade for sale on eBay.
Ooh.
And it drives me crazy that somebody's selling like the Pico Interactive Collection 2, but just the cartridge. What happened to the box?
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to like keep the box.
Right? Every physical media is like that. Where's the box? Oh, I threw it away because who wants a box?
Well, I like, even with like the Sega Genesis, those were nice clamshell cartridges.
Yeah, they're like nice plastic.
You can find those complete way more often than NES games that were cardboard.
Right.
But with the Evercade, if you're buying that, you'd think that you'd be some sort of collector. Why would you get rid of the box?
Yeah, what did they do? Throw it away? Yeah, I know, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, then that's also why too, you like loose Genesis games, like loose, like maybe complete, they're only worth like an extra like $10 or $20 depending, because it's not like Nintendo where it's disintegrating made out of cardboard.
It's so weird. I can't find a loose Evercade on eBay. Period. Used.
Really?
Not even broken. I can't even.
Why are you looking for loose Evercades? You gonna do another mod?
No, I just thought it would be nice to have one that was still original, like without being modded. Because the only one I have is modded.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, no, I mean, it is cool to have an extra one. I mean,
but I don't need a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, technically we'll have a third one with the EXP. Yeah, and the VS, a fourth one. And then I have my broken. Then I got like my broken one there, which that I should bring with me sometimes, like on holiday, because then I can maybe take pictures and stuff with it, and if something happens to it, then I won't care because it's broken. So.
Yeah, I want to
see them, but they're not a better deal than buying new. Well, it's the thing. Maybe if I keep an eye on it, maybe I will find a good deal. Like,
so you know what is interesting, Rich? The fact you bring up the firmware. It kind of clicked for me now. I know why. Like especially Ryan and Sean, want to have that final firmware for the handheld, because I swear to God, if you go to the Discord forums, like 50% of the posts are, this game doesn't work, update the firmware, contact support. So I can understand, like, they're probably also tired of like supporting that, you know what I mean? Versus now with the EXP, everybody will easily be able to update it. And if they can't update it, and if they can't update it, it's some weird issue with their wireless router.
Yeah, it's over the air. Yeah, it'll be a lot more convenient when the EXP hits for sure. And but that also means that eventually they'll wind up being, well, there has to be like a feature split. There will be when the EXP hits, because of course they're going to be exclusive features for the EXP only, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. It'll be cool to find out. I can't believe, like, we're at the end of July, and they said it was September that they're going to start putting that stuff out. So we're only a month out of knowing some of the exclusive features for EXP.
You know what?
That's
I can't wait.
Awesome.
You know what? I can't wait to test too. I want to take the XP, like hook it into your TV, and then can you do Tate mode, and will it pull it vertical with the black borders, or with the borders around it? Like, that would be kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a little. I mean, I guess it would be a little impractical to do it on the bigger screen, because then you lose like 75% of your real estate on the screen. But
yeah,
well,
it would be cool if you did it.
Yeah.
There's nothing says I can't take my monitor and rotate it. I mean, it's designed to do that. So
you
should be able to rotate these games on any display, because you could rotate literally any display.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. I have a Dell monitor at work that actually does that. It does like all sorts of different rotations.
Well, it's funny. At work, I had 3 monitors, and they were all portrait. That's how.
Wow.
Because I was always looking at a lot of code.
Got it. Yeah. Huh. That works. That's awesome. Wonder if that actually would work for a couple of my colleagues. They look at a lot of like spreadsheet data, and they're always scrolling around. If you
want to go outwards.
Yeah, or down. Yeah.
For the code, it was a lot easier to look at. You could see more if you had a higher height. But sometimes when you're looking at the data itself, you needed to go further outward. No, it won't.
Well, there's the Tate answer right there.
Okay.
No, well, we said it's decided against it because of the position of the HDMI and gravity.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, though. If you have it plugged into the television, and you know that it knows it's plugged into the television, you could still rotate the screen, but not have to rotate the Evercade.
That's true.
It could be set up that way.
Yeah, not to say that we couldn't be persuaded later if people demand it.
Well, it's built into RetroArch to be able to turn something to be able to rotate the screen.
I think it, honestly, to be honest, I think that the option should be there for every game, regardless.
Just to be able to mess around with the settings. Yeah,
just to be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more options are better than less options. So I'm kind of in that camp.
As long as it doesn't break anything. No, I'm still waiting for us hopefully to get like the per game button remap. Will be like really cool.
Yeah, it would be neat. I mean, you can just you can do a lot of remapping now, like prior to, but so like that's.
Yeah, the problem is though, if you have to remap the buttons on the controller, sometimes if you have to do it through the system menu, which means when you're done playing, you have to remap back to the way you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much of a hassle for me.
Aha. It's on the list.
Cool. Yeah, that's what we do here.
I didn't even think about having it plugged in, having to rotate the Evercade. It just never even crossed my mind.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get more custom backgrounds.
Well, if you had the right kind of mount on your TV, of course you could.
Yeah, like I have, like my monitors are on, floating things. I could easily turn it if I want to. That doesn't like you don't necessarily have to plug the Evercade into your living room TV. You can plug it into any display.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Funny that you mentioned that, because from Tim's Tiny Arcade, he was at a moving sale, and like they gave him like a 32-inch monitor, and he bought this or they gave away a table and had a mount on it, and he turned it sideways so he could like plug in like his games and like do like pinball, like just to make it make sure.
Yeah.
So it's like you could do that same thing.
I have some of the earlier Arcade 1-Up machines So like I have the Centipede like machine, for example. So it's got Centipede, Millipede, which are, you know, games that utilize the Tate mode. But then it has Missile Command, which doesn't, but it still lets you play it. It's just that the image is really squished.
Yeah. Jason, actually, I didn't have any problems playing Foxyland on the VS, but while I was on vacation, I played Foxyland a lot on my handheld, and I don't know if anyone has any tips for me, but I can't beat the first boss for whatever reason.
Like, I remember getting stuck.
Like, you have to I know you have to jump on him, right? You have to jump on him at least 3 times. So you he stops like right in front of you, like the pixel is like right there. So you got to jump over his head and hit him on the head as he's, you know, as he has his like little his spear or whatever, he throws it down. So you got to hit him on the head when he does that. Guy? Yeah, it's the skeleton guy.
Yeah,
so then you hit him once.
My video and watch it because I've done that.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, I'll have to go. I have to go and rewatch it then.
I need to revisit that game. I got to the last level, and there's just like this puzzle where you have to pull like levers and whatever, and it's kind of
I got a save right there, and I'm like, I keep jumping, and I'm like, I'm hitting him in the right spot, but it counts as a hit against me, so I just keep losing life. And I'm like, what the?
Fun stuff.
I got stuck in that game because there was crystals that I couldn't find in one level, and I needed all of them to leave, and I couldn't figure out where it was, and I just moved on. I never returned.
Oh, this is awesome. And
what is FUIW?
For what it's worth.
Oh,
I never even knew that.
It's they designed a new flashing cut process, design it and develop. Nice, very cool. I like those little individual little improvements as you go along. That's awesome. Very cool.
Well, yeah, less errors when people get them, so that's always good.
Yeah. That is it's the ultimate tip. It's just like, oh, you have a problem with the game, just
when I can't figure something out, I'll just look a video. There's always a complete playthrough of the game on YouTube. And I'll just look at one part. Oh, that's what I need to do. Stop it, and then I'm good.
That's true. That's true. I should. And you know what? It's because I go and get now the videos, because I don't do the capture anymore because you do such an awesome job. I should actually just go to the Crow Continued little plug there, and watch the gameplay of all of those games. Because you play through like pretty much the whole game in most games.
I didn't used to do that, but then at some point I just started doing that, or at least as far as I can get in the game. But for like the Renovation Collection, well, aside from Beast Wrestler, I have footage of all the way through the game. But even for Beast Wrestler, even though I didn't play all the way through the game, I still have the ending.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I just used the password to get to the last match.
Oh yeah. So, well, speaking of Beast Wrestler, why don't we slide in now that we're 38 minutes in, and talk a little bit about a Renovation Collection 1, at least one game. At least we'll get in there. So we'll start with Arcus Odyssey, and then we'll see if we get to Beast Wrestler after that. Let me see if I can find my footage here, or Crow's footage, to be exact, and we'll start chatting a little bit about this.
Yeah, I think this is a game. Yeah, it's this game I played all the way through.
Yeah, Arcus Odyssey.
It's only one
really
character,
cool.
because there's 4 characters to choose from, and that's where you get some replayability in there. Is because you can play through it with different, radically different.
Oh, I totally forgot about this game.
And some of these videos, like they're really long.
Wait till you get Treasure.
Yeah.
Action RPG.
So, but yeah, so Wolf Team did, what is it, like 3 or 4 of the games on this collection, and it's
Wolf Team was all of these games are almost created by the same company, Telenet.
Right. Yeah.
Wolf Team was a subsidiary of Telenet at the time they made these games, so they're technically Telenet games in a way, but I guess it's just the Wolf Team that did this game, along with some other ones. But it's the same thing with Riot, and I can't remember what else there was. They were all this under Telenet at the time.
Yeah. So this one is a action RPG that, as Crow said in his review video, what seems way more action oriented than RPG.
Oh, it is. It is more action than RPG.
Yeah, I mean it's almost. I agree with your take too. It's almost a shooter.
Well, it is,
with RPG elements rather than an actual like a hack and slash or something like that.
Look this game up in GameFAQs. I think it classifies it as a shooter.
As a shooter,
yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, I mean but it's cool because it actually has, you know, it has like cool story and, you know, like it's cool background and there's characters you can meet and like interact with and talk to. So like the RPG elements that are there actually do make it feel like a bigger world than just here's a level where you go and shoot everything and, you know, they can just kill everything that moves and then you move on. There's actually stuff to do and you have to think about what you're doing.
There's things to explore in each level. And you can even find people in the game, like non-playable characters that will join you and also help you. Like I found this one character that had homing bullets. And for as long as that character was with me, the game was super easy. And then all of a sudden,
I forget what that character's name is.
Yeah, don't forget you get like spells and there's like potions and you know. Again, why I'm so happy this is physical media. I need to go back and play this. Like
part of the reason why I said it's not almost RPG is a kind of little bit RPG is because you can only hold 5 items. Period.
Yeah. Per
character. But interesting thing is that this game is on 3 other platforms. Can you guess what game? And also, this is a part of a game series. If you didn't know that, there is an
Turbo Graphics or Turbo CD, probably.
It's not. It's not a Turbo CD.
I cheated because
you looked it up.
I watched your review yesterday.
Oh yeah, okay. So there you go. That's not cheating. That's.
But it's like yeah, it's true. But it's like all the weird obscure ones. It's like Arcus 1, Arcus 2, Arcus 3, Arcus 4. They're all on Japanese PC, and those were actually RPGs. Wow. Those were turn-based RPGs, but they were like on was it the Sharp and
well, it's on it's on most. They started on the NEC PC 98.
Got it.
Oh, sorry, 88 PC 88 and PC 98 for the later games.
Mm-hmm.
But this game in particular was on the Sharp X68000.
Yeah,
but almost got a release on Super Nintendo as well as with the name change of Arcus Spirits. And the reason it never the game was complete, but the reason it was never released on Super Nintendo is because Sega had actually purchased Renovation, so they were going to release it in Super Nintendo.
Got it. I didn't know
but there is a ROM out there for the Super Nintendo version of Arcus Spirits, and I played it. Not all the way through. I just tested it out to get footage for the video, but it's pretty much the same game.
So this is a good example, and I'll maybe dare to say this is like a mini Pico collection. That there's like 12 games. Like I totally forgot about this game because I was like looking for some other like stuff to play. And now I can go back and play this. Like this is fantastic. Like after us talking, it's like I want to go back and play this now.
Well, and I gotta say, so it's fun to play like when you do the build and you have your character and you go through and you beat your bosses and you get the like I guess the acknowledgement or the joy of completing the levels on your own. But then it's even more fun to then use like some of those password codes where you can start at like Act 2 with one of the guys, and they're like max level with everything, and the companion that does the homing thing, and that's amazingly fun. Did you see my? Remember the weird password? I put it in the video.
Yeah,
and all E's.
The password is just all E's, and that works as a password.
Yeah, it's pretty
awesome.
good.
That's awesome.
It's so. Man, when you do that password thing though, it's so much fun because you're just walking around and you can literally just start hitting fire, and as soon as you hit fire, something will die off screen. You will hit something.
Well, that's just because
and you just keep walking around. You just jam the button.
Yeah, that's because you can eventually power yourself up to that point, but you just start with that that level.
Yeah, it's but it's awesome. It's
I need to try
fun.
that old man mode. That's awesome.
Oh,
And what's funny about this part of the game
mode
is like there's 3 entrances in this waterfall, but I think it's
Actually.
randomized which entrance actually works for your game.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is about
I'm
where
gonna-
I am in the game.
I'm gonna
beat
load
this
it
rest
up.
of
Yeah, this
people
is
in the
Act
ship.
1 right now.
Yeah, this is like you haven't beat the first level.
I don't know if I know there's the one after this we have to like rescue the people in the ship. I think that's
Okay, then you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
yeah. I think I got to Act 2.
Because as soon as you enter the waterfall, there's the boss fight, and then you're at the second level.
Yep. But this is like this first place is a little cavernous, but I think it's that way specifically to tell you that your future levels you're going to be walking around in all sorts of different directions and doubling back a lot.
Well, every level is a maze.
Yeah.
That's just the way this game is.
Let's see.
What are you looking up?
Oh, me?
Cool.
Yeah. What were you looking up?
Oh, I went to go load my state where I had this I had the thing loaded where you have the companion guy or whatever.
Oh, okay. You know what I completely forgot until just now is that your shield is activated by holding the shoot button, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, it
that's
is a little weird because it's like
But it adds a
kinda-
little bit of a challenge because you have to know that you want to block in advance. You can't just hit the button and have it instantly happen. But I think in the Super Nintendo version would have had a separate button for it.
Yeah. I bet it would have.
yeah, but it's like
Which means that version might have been easier.
Yep. But yeah, I mean it's like it's crazy. Oh, Mike Tendo Power says it's fun.
Yeah,
Fun
co-op.
co-op.
dude,
Yeah,
I
it would
bet.
be amazing co-op. Like, but
It
then
would be more because there's 4 characters to choose from. It. I'm surprised they didn't try to figure a way to get 4 people to play this at once.
yeah,
Ooh.
you just like annihilate everything.
Yeah.
It's so fun. But anyway, yeah, no, it is really cool. It kind of like it reminds me a little of like this is the kind of game that would be if it wasn't Renovation and someone didn't try to take this over. I would see like Victor Ireland and that team over at Working Designs. They would have tried to port this game if Renovation didn't.
Yeah.
Like I think because it kind of feels like a game that they would have tried to to do work on and port.
What's funny is you know who published a lot of the games that wound up on Turbo's graphic CD was Working Designs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean I think it's awesome because they did a lot of like really awesome work finding the like some of the coolest and most obscure stuff, and it was always just a little bit different, right? So like this one here, it's okay. It's an isometric dungeon crawler, right? So you're walking around, you're playing, you're having fun, but the difference is like everyone's got some kind of projectile, right? So it's not like Diablo where you
because
have
it's a shoot 'em up.
right.
I looked it up. It's
and that's like
classified as a shoot 'em up.
yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's really cool.
But you know what else is great?
Yeah.
And this is what I love about the early retro games is that that Japanese style. And what's funny is this game could fit like in the Phantasy Star universe. Like a lot of like Genesis games kind of have this look like that Phantasy Star kind of, like you can kind of like that anime Japanese, you know what I mean? Like it has like that very distinct look, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you know what? Yeah, I could probably see this being like this could work as they changed the story and made it a little futuristic. This could be like a Fantasy Star spin-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be neat. So Pete is hiding down here. He's been real quiet. What's going on? Pete, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it's cool.
He's like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I played an hour and 30 minutes on my casual stroll through this collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's there's a lot. There's so much to love about the Renovation Collection. I mean, I like this game. Like this game is pretty cool. But yeah, it's cool.
Wake up, everyone! No, it was just funny. I love that we all give an in-depth thing, and Pete's like, it's cool. That dude, that's awesome.
I think it wound up in the middle of my ranking for like the entire Renovation Collection. Like,
yeah.
Right in the middle, I think.
Yeah, you gave it
a bad thing because I ranked it pretty high up there.
Yeah, I think
you gave this one an A.
It's actually going to be one of my favorites because this is my jam. I like top-down isometric action RPGs, so I just haven't had a chance to give this game a whole lot of love. There's so many games coming out, right? And it's been challenging.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. It's one of those ones where, okay, I don't want to get too sucked in. Let me see what else is in the cart, and I'll go back to playing it. And then you get sucked into other stuff, and then you forget, which is cool.
Can you tell how long this video is that I made? I mean, I could look it up.
50 million hours.
Game in this session, Crow? Did you finish this game in this session that you're going
I did, but all
am.
the save states are edited out of this video. So
yeah, how long is the game? So I know what I'm getting into.
Well, was this video accurate as like far as playtime, Crow?
Well, yeah, if you don't use save states and you don't ever die.
Then this
it's an hour it's an hour and a half. So maybe I spent about 3 hours playing the game.
Nice.
I mean, so this is doable, you know.
So it's a little bit longer than most action games
Maybe
are.
Tomorrow on my stream, I'll try it. See if I can finish it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable on a stream or two. It's something that I'm looking forward to doing after I get done with like just going through and dipping my toe in all the collections and doing my fun for fives and all that. I kind of want to just like start grabbing random games and doing a series kind of like what I was doing with Golden Axe Warrior before I ran out of time to get through dungeons without taking an hour to get through them.
Yeah.
And just start doing that for Evercade games, which would be I think that would be really neat. The other thing too is like I went on GameFAQs for this game too, because sometimes you look for like, oh hey, is there some cool things that I'm missing, and then you'll wind up finding that in a guide or walkthrough. There's only one available on GameFAQs right now for Arcus Odyssey. I thought that was strange.
There's actually some games in this collection with no guide available.
No guide at all. Oh
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. Huh. Because you figure like some of these games are like so beloved, and you're like, oh, somebody's got to have a guide. You know?
You would think, right? Hey, Rich, do we have time to talk about one more game?
I think we do have time to talk about one more game, and that one more game is.
It's going to be Beast Wrestler, which I kept calling Beast Warrior because the name makes more sense.
Because you're a dragon warrior.
But you know what? That's actually the name of the game in Japan. Beast Warrior.
Oh, Beast Warrior?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, my favorite thing about this game is all the typos in English. Look at it.
It's like this game is wild.
I'd say like this game has a couple interesting concepts, but I don't think any of it's executed that well.
I mean, I can agree with the sentiment that the actual gameplay, like hit detection, hit boxes, all that kind of stuff, is not great.
Yeah,
right?
The hitboxes don't make any sense at all because you can punch straight ahead and there's a character lower on the screen. If you just position yourself lower on the screen, even though perspective-wise it doesn't make any sense, you can still hit.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and actually, like that has to be the strategy for 80% of all fights is just be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 pixels lower than your enemy on that, like, kind of, again, it's like isometric. But yeah, like let me get to, there we go, there's some fighting. You have to just be just barely below your opponent, and then you tail whip them a bunch. So I noticed in your review you said like the characters go down and then like sometimes they get right up and then sometimes you have to wait.
Well, that's because if they're doing the count, like you hear that, nobody can do anything.
Right. Yeah, so you have to wait for the count to go. But what happens is when the count is happening, you've gotten a circle down.
Yeah, it's a knockdown. 3 knockdowns and you're out. That's the way this game works.
So yeah. So basically all you do is, well, what I've been doing, because it's a combo game. If you can turn it into a combo game, is you do tail whips and punches until you get your super. You back up 2 spaces so that they're not like right on you for a grapple, and you fire your super and you like turbo punch their face. They go down. They do the count out. You cycle repeat. You do it 3 times, you win.
Oh, also this footage is before they have the firmware update that fixed this game, because there was a problem with the controls at some point. So they fixed it. It was a little bit easier, but still didn't really make the game.
I wonder if I have the patch. I don't know. Because I don't think I put Renovation in. Did I put Renovation in my VS yet? I'm not sure.
You know what I did for a test of this game? I read the manual, hit all the buttons, tried to do all the combos, and then I closed my eyes and just randomly hit buttons, and I did better when my eyes were closed. This game 100% is awful.
To be honest, there was no real strategy when I was playing this.
No,
I would just wait. I would just attack until I could finally do the special attack, and then kind of try and position myself to land a hit with it. Because more than often, it would knock the other guy down, and a lot of times it would just start to count. It would count as a fall as well.
That's naughty, Mike.
So full confession, I only played this game when I did my first look, and I haven't touched it since. I don't think it's a horrible game. I think it's just so underwhelming, and there's just so many better games on this cart that I'd rather be playing.
But you know what? This game has a really awesome feature that they didn't execute well either, and that's the fact that as you play the game, there's like you can train your monster with the money you earn. But at a certain point, your monster becomes too weak to continue, and then you can merge him with another monster and get a new monster. And you have an option as to what you want to merge it with. So as you continue through the game, it's like a branching of path of what your monster becomes. The problem is that there's really not that many
getting
options.
to the fun is impossible in this game.
Yeah, I mean...
99% of people who bought this game originally never experienced what you just explained. I guarantee.
Right.
Yeah, because they probably just started like, well, I'm just hitting buttons and I can't,
and returned it.
But I guarantee this is the one thing I really like about this game is all the typos, because it cracks me up so much.
It's real bad.
There was one screen, it's a giant screen, it says combine 2 monsters, but the word 2 is misspelled. Right on the screen. It's spelled TOW. So it says combine 2 monsters.
Wow. Monsters.
This game was put on there so by putting this on here, it elevates every other game.
Yeah, like it does. But the fact that they misspelled the word 2 and it's in giant letters in the middle of the screen cracks me up so much.
Well, I like the fact that in this particular match, right, you can still do the turbo punch.
Yeah, so you just have to be lower on the screen.
Yeah, you're just be like just a little bit lower, but your fist is clearly a foot and a half above the guy's head, and you just
the animation for that turbo punch is so stupid too, because he kind of floats all the way across the screen.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
They should have just made it like stop at a certain point, like go fast and then slow down gradually. But no, it's just a constant speed all the way across the screen.
Yeah. So
yeah, there you go.
Nice. So I think like a little spoiler alert for when I do the revisit on the Fun for 5 for this one. A lot of people were saying that, oh well, I know which one's getting a no pick on this
5 minutes of fun
this cartridge.
Your video,
and it's going to be Oh wait, what was that, Pete?
I said you will not get 5 minutes of fun out of this game. Your video will be 30 seconds.
Yeah. listen. I'll sum it up right here.
It stinks.
Well, I think you could get a good 5 minutes of laughing at the typos in this game.
There you go.
So I mean, for me though, I actually think that this game would wind up getting at least a half pick for me, and the reason why is because once you figure out that like that little combo thing, I was able to go through 6 or 7 matches in I don't know 5.5 minutes. And I was like, okay, that's actually fun because you get to the point where you can get to the shop and you do the training and you get a little stronger, and then you do the next match. And right now I'm up against there's the one guy that looks like it's a purple guy that stands up straight and he's all like jacked. It's like the 6th or 7th like match that you have to fight. And it's I don't know, it's difficult, but I know that I'm going to be able to win. So, like, I don't know. I want to go and actually finish it now. Like, I want to beat the game. I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm on a mission.
I got to a certain point where no matter how much I restarted the match, I could not beat the guy. So I just gave up, and that's why I just put in the code to get to the last match.
Got it.
Because I didn't want to. I didn't care that much about this game to actually play all the way through it.
I think see. You know what though? I think this is one of those ones though that you put on, right?
Chop.
Yeah, yeah. Chop. You put this is one of those ones that you put on right on a live stream or whatever, and then you just as
this is a whip.
This is my punishment. I will play this until I beat it or something.
Oh, and navigating this is far more complicated than it needed to be.
It really is, because every time you hit something, the guy's like, "I want to explain everything about the thing you want to buy." I'm like, "No, I just want to."
And then if you accidentally one extra time, he repeats the entire thing.
Yes, that is true.
Hey, I need to respond to Lloyd's comment here, just really quick, because he said, "I played Beast Wrestler for a solid 8 seconds."
That's what she said. Woo!
Sorry.
Nice.
I know I'm bad.
You defeated and the cells of your dragon.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
This game is a pass.
Where?
My cock hurts. Sorry. I love that name. I love that name.
My goodness. So, but yeah.
Do we got time for one more, Rich? Do we got time for one more?
This is a whip. But he tells you what this stuff is, but I don't think he tells you what it does.
What? Yeah. So the thing about the monster genetic combination facility, you can get to it, but then I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. But then you can buy all the food, but you can't feed it without the gun. The gun's 150.
Yeah,
money.
yeah. You have to have the gun.
You gotta beat 1, 2, 3, 8 matches before you can get enough money to buy the gun.
But yeah,
so there's some floppy disks. There's a fan.
Yeah,
there's a rope and an ID. That is so weird.
You can't go right to the facility even if you have the disc. You have to wait for that point in time in the game where it lets you do that.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make any sense either is that you would think that you'd be able to go to the shop after every match, but that doesn't even let you do that. You can only go to the shop every other match.
Yeah. yeah, that's right, Mike. When there is an update and you've downloaded the patch from the VS, when you have the game in and you go to launch that game that time, you'll get the prompt and it'll say, "Oh, hey, this is a thing." So,
is this the point where he says something weird? This guy says something so weird at one point that I had to screenshot it.
Terrible.
That's awesome.
Terrible.
But yeah, so when you get, does the whip do something extra when you do the training?
Yes,
that's a whip.
It increases his stats during the training. That's what
okay, got it. Yeah, because you go to 250 if you don't have it instead of 270. Because I saved all the money and I'm like, oh well, I'm just gonna save up for the gun to feed the food to the monster.
I can agree with Pete. Rich, I think you and Crow have played and are far into this game more than 80% of the people out there. Which I think is great. I'm glad y'all got to enjoy it.
If I don't like a game, I've got to investigate why I don't like the game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm sort of like that. But if I know I really don't like a game, I am done. Mm-hmm. I'm just done. And what it is if the game gets in my way, if the game's controls or the game's game loop is not intuitive to me, then I'm not having fun. Yep. I figured out how to play with this kind of janky control set, and I was like, okay, well, at least I can get through a match. And if I can get through a match without having to put too much effort in. I'm like,
I think that move's cool, but
that movie is cool.
Is one of the beasts named Airhole?
Yes, that guy's name is Airhole, but there's an extra H thrown in there somewhere. So I think it's AIRHOHLE.
Yes. And yes, there is a cheat you can skip to the last match. But
there's just a password to do that.
Yeah, and you do have to beat the last match.
Yeah, and which is actually not that hard to do because the password you use has characters' stats all maxed out.
Oh, well, all right. Well, there you go. He's the classiest super punch monster with his hands out like his hip. Yeah. That's.
I like how this monster's just got built-in Japanese flags.
Well, you know what? I think actually, didn't Sean say that he wanted this specifically on this collection?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think you can blame Renovation for trying to force the game.
Believe it or not, there are people that like this game.
Yeah,
and it's mostly because they played this when they originally had the Genesis.
Yep.
If people like the game, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I don't think it's horrible. There's better stuff that I know I could be playing on this collection. That's all. I don't have the motivation to figure it out.
And again, this is probably a much better game if you've got somebody to play against.
Yes.
It's not a free game, but if at least when you're not playing against a computer, you're just playing one-on-one matches. I could see just having a fun time just messing around with it.
Oh yeah, if we could do like verses and play each other, this would be the bomb.
Yeah,
totally agree, 100%.
And I think there might be a way. I mean, well, if you had the card anyway.
Well, you could play. You can select any monster in the game. I think. I don't think anybody's off limits.
Well, there are other like services that you can play, like games and stuff on, like Jam.gg, right? If you have the backer thing.
Stop choking me.
If you're a backer, you can actually, if you wind up getting a ROM, you can actually bring the ROM into Jam.gg. You could actually play 2-player.
Okay.
So, like, we could play right now. Like, just bring up a browser and then just play, which would be wild.
It'd be hilarious if this was on Fightcade. It's not a dark
it would be.
Think about it. Like, if you had a choice between playing Street Fighter and this, were you going to choose this?
No.
Yes, it is. It is on Renovation, yes.
Maybe I'd rather play this over
is on
Street
Renovation.
Fighter. I don't know.
One of the worst games of all time. Man.
You know what? It's
I think I definitely find worse games for sure.
Yes. There are definitely a lot. If the game can be played and beaten, I don't think it can be considered one of the worst games of all time.
Beast Massage. TJC's on fire today.
Massage, yeah.
See what happens when I start the naughtiness early.
Beast Body Massage.
That's probably a real thing. We're giving a plug to somebody.
Oh my goodness. All right, so I think that's enough Beast Wrestler for.
Do we got time for one more? Does everybody got time for one more, or do we gotta?
I don't know. I mean, so
up to you guys.
Is Pete back? Because he BRB'd in the private chat about 5 minutes ago. So I don't know if he's back yet, but yeah, that's right. That's Jam.gg is yep. Oh, do they have this? Too bad the hardware is pushed back even more from the Pie Packer. Yeah. I mean, but that's happening with a whole bunch of stuff right now, right, Mike? I backed that for the whole kit, so I'm getting all of the little readers whenever they come out. But yeah, the readers aren't going to be around for another, I don't know, probably another year, which is kind of a tier. But by then, hopefully they'll be doing they do a deal with some publisher for a new game like every week. They're putting a new game on the service, so at least there's another opportunity to go and play like cool games. It does feel a little different though. Like Jam.gg games feel a little different than playing on Evercade. I prefer on Evercade to play them, but like for the multiplayer aspect though, obviously there's no online multiplayer yet on Evercade. So Jam.gg is the resolution for me.
I think that's a personal health advice.
I think that's why they changed the name of PiePacker to Jam.gg because
I didn't know they changed the name.
Yeah, people kept saying PiePacker and they're like, what the heck is PiePacker? It doesn't sound right. So yeah, now it's Jam.gg. So
is Pete back or is he still away?
Jam.gg, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess it
doesn't sound like he's back.
Here, I'll entertain us for a few seconds. See, there's your entertainment, quality entertainment.
Quality entertainment.
Pizza.
Macaulay eating pizza.
Like this.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, please stand by.
Please stand by. Please stand by.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, while we're waiting some more, yes, but it's jam.gg.
I'm back.
He's back.
He's back.
I was just saying, do we got time to do one more?
Did you back Pie Packer, Pete?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So, and you know about the rename and everything, right? Have you played multiplayer on that? Yes? No?
He's gone again.
He's gone.
He's on
He'll be back.
Change your name?
Yeah, it's jam.gg now.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it is weird.
Ian backed it. Yeah.
Pie Packer.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's they did a whole thing because I think people were like confused. I mean, Pie Packer doesn't sound like a game related thing.
Sounds like a device Homer Simpson.
I should talk though because I'm a gaming channel. It's called.
It sounds like a device Homer Simpson would have, where it would like pack a bunch of pies and then he could like bring it with him and then he could like eat them all. I don't know. That weird thing.
Did they name it like Jam just so there was still some like food involved?
True.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, but it's like a French. It's a French company. The guys who run that. So maybe that's it. Maybe they just like pastries. And fillings of pastries.
Dude,
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Wow. That's
so
the most graphic thing anybody said this whole time.
Yes, I think it sounds like a great time to go into the wrap up. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's where we're at right now. So does anyone have any final thoughts before we get out of here? I will say though, so we're gonna continue along our list. So it's Dino Land, El Viento, maybe Exile.
Some big games coming up.
So some pretty good stuff coming up there. I mean, this is the whole collection is
Dino Land,
pretty awesome.
Crow's
there's some weird ones in there. But
Dino Land might be ranked just above Beast Wrestler on my list.
Wow. Yeah,
you're a hardcore pinballer.
I think you said in your review you'd rather play Boomerang Kid than Dino Land.
Like,
Boomerang. Yeah, at least Boomerang Kid has a challenge to it.
Boomerang.
That's true. Dino Land is pretty easy, but I'm terrible at like keeping. I'm terrible at keeping a good pace with the ball, especially if it falls through. I always wind up hitting it where it goes into the outer things, and there's no way to.
Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are at Dino Land. You'll eventually get to the end of the game, and I'll explain that when we do talk about it.
Oh yeah. I think I know what you're gonna say, but yes.
But listen though, Boomerang Kid. So when all gamers die and they go to purgatory and they're waiting, you sit there and you can only play Boomerang Kid. That's what it is.
There's far worse games to play than Boomerang Kid. At least I find that.
Yes. I don't know. Boomerang Kid is just so frustrating. It's like.
I find that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Where did I rank Boomerang Kid? What level did I put that on? Let's see.
So
I just need to find my list.
What tier?
Yeah, what tier did
Isn't
I
it
put
C?
Boomerang?
I think it's in C.
I might have put it on C even. So I didn't put it in like F tier. I definitely didn't put it in F tier because I found it a little bit interesting to play. I'd say I don't hate Boomerang Kid. I don't like it, but I don't not like it either. It's like right in the middle for me, which I would be a C, I believe.
Yeah. So John asks, will live score challengers return? I would say yes. I would love for them to return, and we will figure out a way to get everything back up and running.
Well, you know why they haven't.
At some point.
It's because there's been like hot news.
There's stuff to talk about. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
When
like
we get to the when we get to the end,
I'll be transparent. Like we do that when there's not as much news or things to talk about, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I just looked at this and I literally put Boomerang Kid right above Dino Land.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
You too,
you too, Ryan. Good. Get well. Hope everything works out with that. Speedy recovery.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, but yeah. What do we got going on for the upcoming week, guys? Start with you, Ed.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing too, and you guys may have like noticed because of Rich's vacation. I'm surprised. No, actually, Renegades, he was the only person that kind of reached out to the note. Nobody noticed that we didn't have a card this week.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's that insignificant. No,
it's
no. I'm just messing. No, but I think either maybe, possibly tonight, tomorrow, or maybe Tuesday. Something like it's we're gonna come up with that in the next couple days. Actually, me and Rich need to talk about that. And then next week, so my next video, I put a topic like, is Evercade video game preservation? Yeah, so I decided to kind of go there. So that's my video dropping Tuesday.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. What do you got going on there, Crow?
I need to get started on the Gremlin collection.
Yeah.
I can't.
But there's also
start getting on the Gremlin collection too.
Yeah, you know what?
You guys were saying that it was hard to close these boxes because of the cards in them.
So
yeah,
all you need to do is put the cards not in the clip. Just put them in the corner like this. And
I said that when we talked about it, how they're hard to close. I said don't clip them.
Yeah.
Crow was not listening when I told him that. Just the three of us.
But you said don't clip them. I didn't know what you were talking about when you said don't clip them. Like, of course I'm not going to clip them. I'm not going to cut them.
Wait. So let me get this straight. Y'all get the cards before me, and they sit there and they're sealed. Versus me, I'm like a dog, like I'm dying to get them, and I tear it open.
That's just.
I don't get them. Yeah, I don't get them the earliest. I get them on the day they're actually released.
Yeah,
he's like a wizard. They arrive precisely when they're meant to.
They arrive precisely when they're meant to.
Yeah. No, for me, like I can't wait. Like,
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also Pinball FX. They keep updating stuff, and they did a major update, so I need to actually get in there.
Yeah, get on that, Pinball.
Get on that, sir.
Yeah. Nice. What about you, Pete?
Oh, I got a little controversy coming to the channel on Monday.
Are you going to do that video
I'm going to do that video.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's going to be wild. It's going to be
do it
on Monday. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fantastically wild. I'm done in the shadows.
That is going to be wild.
It will be.
Yeah, so definitely keep your eyes peeled to that because that's
Rich is just shaking his head.
Oh my god! I just wow. Okay, yeah, just keep. But all I gotta say is like, yeah, just keep an eye on Pete's channel because that's gonna be a thing.
But you can blame me because Pete asked and said, "Should I do it, guys?" And I said yes. So it's my fault if something goes.
It's trying to ruin me.
Yeah. So but yeah, so over here. It's going to be me catching up on like stuff because I'm back from vacation and I had all my preloaded content and now I'm out of it. So now I got to create some more. I'm moving on in Intellivision Collection 2 on INTV Tuesday. So I'm actually going to be playing more Evercade now because as I go through that collection. And then, yeah, random games on Wednesday. I think I'm going to do Airy. I'm going to do both Airy games in one that are left on the Atari VCS store. And then I'm going to do Dark Side Detective next week of both of them in one as well. And then that's going to finish up. Once I do that, unless they drop a game, that is then every game that's on the Atari VCS store will have a Fun for 5.
What's really funny is that I keep forgetting I have one.
And it's our VCS, yeah. So like I can't wait. I can't wait to do that and then to be done. And then actually like then Atari VCS Thursday becomes something else. Like because like if I Fun for 5 every game, then I'll like go through and like play more or something like that. Because it's exciting. It's really cool stuff. And then of course next Friday is I don't know. Maybe I actually will crack Gremlin and play that this week, and then I'll do Fun for 5 on Gremlin Collection. And then we're back up here. And then, of course,
I was going to say, I heard there was a game called Golden Axe Warrior that you were playing.
Yeah, there is that too. That one that's staring me in the face right here. Yeah, I should probably turn that on too. But we'll figure that out.
I have to keep teasing him about that until.
Yes.
No, I do understand it. Listen, it's involved. It's not like you are getting to the point where it does take longer to beat the dungeon. So I mean, I totally get it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's because it's getting harder. And then I try to do it all in one. I try to do a dungeon, but if it's going to take me an hour and a half to beat the dungeon,
well, then split it into just use save states and split it into two things. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you could.
I'd rather have that than nothing. I'm just saying.
That's true. All right. Maybe that's a good idea. The save state thing is a good idea. So, all right, I'll have to figure it out.
Master System Mondays, come on.
Master System Mondays need to come back. I miss it. It's sitting right here. It's like play me. But there's also something else that I'm working on. Ed knows now.
Yeah,
Ed knows what I'm working on.
Master System Mondays.
You know what? I know. So without giving away any spoilers, I know that for those of you who follow the Atari Creep, he did hint something. Does that have to do with it? Like that one video?
No,
the box you sent him.
There is going to be something with that soon, very very soon. That's something you guys are going to watch.
Is this that other thing that I know about?
And my channel for? But yeah, no. There's that the side project that involves Master System.
Okay.
I'm finally going to do something this weekend.
It's funny because you have a lot of coals in the fire, so I'm which secret project?
Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? I've got too many coals in the fire and not enough hands to actually tend to any of them.
Yes.
So anyway, all right.
Oh my god.
I think that's the jibber jabber of the final thoughts for right now, and that'll wrap it up. So again, thanks everyone. We had an awesome chat today. They had 40 plus people in here. That's awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for the support and hanging out. We love hanging out with you guys. This chat was awesome. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week on the Evercast. See you guys.
Bye, bye.